kind of connected with his ideal of manhood was, and could he, can he achieve more than he originally thought, and can he get a little grip on life more?
Blake, I'm really excited to chat with you about discs. This will be fun.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Is that a Lion King, Back to the Future? What do we have on the wall?
All right, what do you want to see? Well,
That thing you do, that thing you
that
do.
thing
All
you
right.
do, yeah. I've got my stuff here and Indiana Jones and The Office and all that stuff. It's
I love it. Well, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate you reaching out.
honestly, I'm thrilled to chat with you. Of course, here we are speaking with Blake Winston Rice, the
Hmm.
director of Disc. Blake, the and Disc is nuts, but it's so good.
Thank you.
Honestly,
That's what I'm going for. I'll take that.
honestly, I saw it. I actually thought, now it is funny. It's quite funny, but the tone of our film like this, I didn't expect it to be. There's a lot here. There's a
Mm,
lot here. Where did it
appreciate
come?
it. I've been pretty lucky with stuff that's come up this past year and change, and a dear friend, super talented artist herself, Victoria Radermanis, kind of came to me with an original script and idea for this project, and we kind of jammed on a draft together. And after this was all after I did another short called T, and after her and I kind of linked up on the story here, and um, decided to kind of dive into it full swing. We brought on Jim and let it rip, man.
I mean, one of the things that amazes me about a film like this is just how much the cast and crew really need to trust each other on it. Like this is I want to use the term sensitive topic, and maybe it shouldn't be, but I want to talk about that too. But it feels that way. But what was that preparation like? I mean, Victoria, like you said, it sounds like she was in on it from the beginning. But with you and
Hmm.
Victoria and Jim, what were those early conversations like about telling a story like this?
I think because of the nature of it, to me, it's like, okay, what's the hardest part of it? What's the biggest challenge of this thing? To me, it was pulling off the removal. It's actually pulling off that moment in there. That's like the hardest actual math of it. So putting into our prep and kind of prepping our actors to be like, this is a no punches held situation. And then tonally too, like if we're not swinging as hard as we can at these more aggressive moments, then the more tender ones are going to miss. So we have to go harder. And it takes me, I've done a bunch of shorts at this point, like just being able to tap into some of that experience to have the confidence to go in there and then also steer the team kind of in lieu with that, I think is important to making sure that we kind of stick that landing. But I can't thank, the other creatives involved enough. Like they're super trusting of the story and super dialed in and always asked the right questions and then prepped a bunch. Our DP Nick Allen and Victoria and Jim, we always have our own independent kind of rehearsals and sessions and character work, but then also we're able to rehearse together. I mean, we're rehearsing in Jim's apartment or Jim's house bedroom or bathroom, like the same maneuvers, and I'm blocking it, all that. And um kind of same with camera. And then yeah, I think all that kind of goes in, and them being willing enough and gracious enough to trust me with kind of leading this stuff in the right position and the right, to kind of nail that ending.
Well, and like I said, this is a film that, even in a few minutes, takes a topic that we traditionally have played for broader comedy and makes it quite an intimate and personal experience that is very powerful to watch. And but I wanted to ask you, like, why do you think it's when we really talk about issues of sex, body
Hmm.
function, menstruation, like we seem to really struggle in broad strokes to talk about it. Why do you think that is? If it happens to everybody, why can't we talk about it?
That's a great question. It's because it's uncomfortable and scary. Like I think it's scary. It's like it makes us uncomfortable and scary and it's personal. And that's our good, like I think that's what's behind people being, naive or unable to communicate about it, and I've definitely been that way, like, and it's been fun to tap into the informed side of my brain for that part of the story and then the uninformed.
Yeah.
And both of those between both characters have been really fun to flip the switch. Um, to me, ultimately, Disc. and there's a thousand different takes on it, but it's more so about connection. Um, and what is connection? That's kind of the main message I'm bringing. I'm trying to push to the fold here is that like you can have a one night stand, you can have a hookup, but if you wake up hungover in the morning, did you really meet the person? Did you really get to know them? Did you really change from that moment? I think there's moments where that doesn't happen, but then life can throw you a total curveball where something else happens that you really get to know who someone is in a really quick amount of time. And that question of do you feel changed is what our refrain here is on disc, and hopefully you feel a little bit changed when you're watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a line. I think it's Jim's character that says it, but it's just this is the real world, and right now I'm in it, and it is not good. And I love that moment,
Yeah.
but it's also such an honest moment. It's like, look, everything aside, we are all in on this right now, and I, it's like.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you about intimacy because this is a really intimate moment. And what do you think creates intimacy between two people? Because, like you said, it begins one way and takes it an entirely different way.
Well, specific for that moment with Jim too, that's kind of his character's face the music, right? He has to hit this rock bottom and realize he needs to look this thing square in the eye, no pun intended, and get to like find a solution here. What do I think creates intimacy is being able to let your walls down, and we have a bunch of metaphors in that, in this one. They both can't achieve this goal until they strip everything away. They're naked doing it. That's why, that's part of why that works, I think. Um, and are they able to kind of communicate or get to a common ground? Maybe they have to be stripped of their clothing, stripped of their insecurities, and literally on the ground to get to that point. And that's what I think brings in the intimate moments to connect and kind of achieve something.
Yeah, it's interesting because they've had this one night stand, and like you
Hmm.
said, that doesn't actually seem to bring them together.
They don't know who
It,
they are. They don't
yeah,
know who the person is. Like, yeah,
yeah, she did. Like I think, like at the beginning of the film, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually giving the lecture you're going to," and he doesn't even know that either.
yeah.
Um, but there's something deeper by the end of this 12 minutes, or however long it is, that really brings them together, and like you said, tears those walls down. I think it's fascinating.
Thank you very much. Means the world coming from you. I'm so grateful for Tiff for bringing us in on this one and kind of starting this film's run. And super grateful for everyone who helped us too. Like it takes actors that are really fearless to jump in, and Victoria and Jim definitely steer that ship.
Yeah, absolutely. The performances are great, and like I said, it all absolutely works. So I have to ask, as the film does, do you seem changed?
No, I'm stubborn and stupid, and I never change. Um, totally. I've had moments. What to me is nice about this ending is like that kind of pause at the end. This isn't a run off into the sunset romance to me that they have afterwards. I think they maybe had two very separate, very quiet car rides home.
Mm,
And they maybe thought about something that steered their lives in a different direction. I think for Jim's character, whose name is Carrie in the short, I think he found a backbone. I think he found a little bit more of a purpose, and he found that he kind of connected with his ideal of manhood was, and could he, can he achieve more than he originally thought, and can he get a little grip on life more? And I think Tori's character found that she doesn't have to have her walls up so tight, and she can let other people in, or maybe the successes that she's achieved business wise and the kind of tools that she's done to get to that point maybe don't need to be the only tools in her tool belt anymore. And there is a little bit more glimpse of life that she can open up her world to, maybe her heart to. um, I feel changed watching both of those, and I personally have had moments where, like, man, that was a crazy, unexpected thing that affected my life way more than I thought.
yeah, yeah,
Have
absolutely.
you? Do you feel changed? That's the question. Yeah.
No, I no,
No, no, unremarkable. Another
no.
short.
Honestly, like I said, there's a surprising, almost. I hesitate in some ways for a film like this, but there's almost a poignancy to this film because the character work is so strong. And in this film, as they're trying to deal with this issue, like I genuinely came away from it saying that is exactly what I would hope I would be able to do in that situation, is have that sort of humility to be like, no, this is what matters right now, and I need to care for this person in this way,
Yeah.
regardless of any questions I have or how I do, because he doesn't understand anything about the thing at the beginning.
No, it's terrifying. And
It's
also
terrifying.
there is some human nature in there being like he's hurting her. Like this is a nice guy, you know, he's a squeamish sweet boy. Like it's tough if it'd be like if she had an arrow lodged in her, right? Like that would be really scary for someone to be like, is it going to be worse when you're not supposed to pull out a puncture, you know, like is it going to
Yeah.
hurt more? And there's a lot of human nature just on the basis of that he's fighting.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's why I say, and in that level, I felt changed.
Hmm.
Uh,
No,
so
I
yeah,
take it.
no,
I
honestly,
take it.
it's fabulous. I really do appreciate the chance to chat with you about it. I do wish you the best of the festival and the run that follows, because it's great. It's a solid film.
Thank you so much. It means the world coming from you, and I hope people get the same kind of feeling that you did too. It's to have one kind of compared to the last ones I've done, and I know it's kind of cheesy to say, but this one on the big screen, I think is going to get some reactions, and I think it's going to pull some reactions physically from people, um, guys and girls both. Like I think it's a fun one for couples to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm psyched and super grateful for TIFF for having us and thrilled to see how it plays.
Yeah, I think, and actually, you say talking about a big screen. There's a moment where they're locking eyes.
Mm.
I think that will play out beautifully, because that to me was like, well, there it is. That's a
Hmm.
key moment, and it looks fantastic. The performances are great. The story's great. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much, Blake. I really
Thanks so much
appreciate
for
it.
having me, Steve. Great to meet you. And if you're at the festival, come say hi.
I will. I will. Absolutely.
Please
Have a
do.
great day. Thanks so
Appreciate
much.
it.